The eye is a vital organ of the body that must be properly taken care of and left to no chances of damage. Many eye problems, when detected early, can be treated and prevented from total damage. Sadly, the statistics of eye problem amongst children is becoming alarming due to their inability to verbalize their problem and lack of adequate attention by parents, guardians, and teachers to the early signs of eye problem.
We should first know the statistics. Why are we so concerned about children? Why is it so important? It's because a staggering 1.5 million children are blind worldwide. That's a huge number. Every year, 500,000 gets added to that figure. Now, and if you divide that number, getting blind every year by time, approximately one child goes blind every minute. We started this program maybe 7-8 minutes ago. So in the time that we've been sat here, that the first speaker spoke, 7 or 8 children have gone blind somewhere in the world. And so that's how, serious the situation is. That's why we need to address these things. Now globally, we just talked about blindness. Some children are not blind, but they don't have the vision they need for their optimal functions, for academics, for socialization and what have you. 19 million children worldwide are in this situation, and 2/3 of that figure, about 12 million, simply due to what we call refractive errors.
To help this future generation attain their full potentials without visual hindrance, Restore Foundation for Child Sight, a non-governmental organization, put together a free visual screening training for teachers.
If a child is short-sighted and they're at the back of the class, or they're sat not near the board, they can't see. A lot of teachers, you already know some of these short-sighted children, they always want to come very near the board, otherwise they can't see. So such a child underperforms. So a great deal of children who are thought to be average or less than average performers simply cannot see. And so we need to help them.
The event, which was in partnership with the National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools in Agege, Lagos, is part of the Foundation's advocacy for child eye care.
We work on 3 major areas. We're working on educating and training, and this is such a program. We're working on advocacy, in government circles and amongst groups where it's important, and interventions. So for some time we've been carrying out interventions, giving spectacles, doing surgeries, operations for children who need it, for cataracts, for squints, and things like that. Now, children are unique. Why is this? Because they don't verbalize their problems. And that's because a lot of them don't have a different experience. From infancy, they haven't seen well. They have no idea what clear vision means, and so they're not going to tell you I can't see well, because they think that's normal. They think that's how you see as well. And so most children will not verbalize. We have to find out if the child has a problem. We must know. We must have our ways to know if a child has a problem.
Not less than 28 private schools and over 80 teachers attended the training where pediatric ophthalmologists put them through on how to detect signs of visual impairment in a child.
We want you to test the child with what they can recognize very easily. Sometimes my belief is that there are fewer numbers than there are letters. So I think the young children will first be able to identify numbers before all the letters. They're just 9 numbers, the single-digit numbers, and yet there are 26 alphabets. And so I think they'll be more familiar. So if you're dealing with younger classes, you might opt to use the number chart, whereas the older classes should readily identify your letter chart. So start with what they can recognize.
After the lecture, it was time for a practical session on visual screening steps.
Are they familiar to ABC charts? Or what do you chart? We have the ABC chart. But let's know that what the student can read before we start the test. Okay, they are familiar with the ABC chart.
The program is very good. It's very educative, and I'm happy it is a child-centered education. So we've been able to know different types of eye defects, how such defects could be detected at early stage, and what steps should be taken to correct such defects so that the child will not eventually lose his or her sight.
In fact, it's so amazing, very educating, very lovely. I never regretted of coming for this training. I so much enjoy it because they are trying to help the Nigerian children one way or the other, especially probably those that their parents cannot afford to go on operation or one thing or the other. So they have brought this thing to the doorsteps of the school so that the school can educate, so that the teachers as well can educate the pupils in their respective schools. So they have really done very well. We have a huge number of teachers that are here, and I'm quite sure when they get back home, they were going to practicalize all what they have been taught here. And I'm quite sure the school owners as well, they are going to imbibe in this thing that have been taught.
We know that there's a lot of socioeconomic, we're in the third world, and a lot of people live, majority of people live below the poverty line. And therefore, it means that it's people who are ignorant and coming forward to have their children treated. People who are not ignorant, have no access, don't know where to go, and those who know where to go are unable to pay for their treatment. And so we need to, that's why Restore Foundation wants to educate people on the presence of problems, to identify, detect them, and to know where to refer them to, and also to make it easy for these children to acquire whatever treatment that they need to restore their vision. Be it spectacles or surgical interventions, Restore Foundation is determined to leave no child behind. So we are on a crusade of action and advocacy to improve child eye health.
As Restore Foundation for Child Sight is taking the crusade of child eye care round different communities, it is the hope of the foundation that many children will get the needed help in order to achieve their dreams in life and be productive to their nation.